Have you ever felt a kind of exhaustion that doesn't live in your body, but in your mind? Like your thoughts are carrying weights your muscles never touched. You sit still, do nothing, yet your spirit feels worn out. Not from movement, but from the endless effort of trying to understand everything. You try to decode people. You try to explain your own emotions. You sift through your past, forecast your future, searching for a reason, any reason, to make it all feel okay. You wake up with unanswered questions, fall asleep to unfinished thoughts, and in between, you hope the right insight will click and finally make life feel manageable. But here's something we rarely admit. Understanding doesn't always bring peace. In fact, the obsession with figuring things out might be the very thing stealing it from you. We were raised to believe that clarity equals safety, that if we just knew why, we could finally relax. But not every answer comes from thinking harder. Sometimes the clarity we're chasing only appears when we stop the chase. There's a quiet voice inside many of us that whispers, "If I could just understand it all, I'd finally be okay." Understand the pain, understand the heartbreak, understand why it happened, why I feel this way, why I am this way. And so we fall into this endless loop of consuming wisdom. Books, podcasts, healing reels, spiritual quotes, as if the next thing we read will finally fix us. But the mind is clever. It takes even peace and turns it into a puzzle. You sit in a moment of calm and immediately wonder, why do I feel calm? What caused this? How do I hold on to it? And just like that, peace becomes another project. Something to analyze, define, preserve. Something you wrestle with instead of rest in. But not every truth is meant to be solved. Some are simply meant to be felt, to be experienced, not explained. Sometimes what you really need isn't more insight. What you need is permission to pause, to breathe, to not know, to let go of the need to label every moment. Because healing doesn't always look like epiphanies. Sometimes it looks like sitting still and not needing a reason to feel safe. Remember how children can just exist in the moment, watching clouds or their own hands, without trying to make sense of anything. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that stillness was laziness, that silence meant you were falling behind. So now, even in quiet, your mind races. Am I enough? Shouldn't I be further by now? But that voice, it's not your truth. It's a defense mechanism. It's your mind trying to protect you through understanding, even when what you truly need is rest. Peace doesn't require an explanation. It's not something to solve, it's something to return to. You're not tired because you've done too little. You're tired because you've carried too much. Especially the belief that unless you have everything figured out, you're not allowed to rest. But peace is not a reward for understanding. It's a state you enter when you allow yourself to stop analyzing and start feeling again. To stop trying to earn rest and just receive it. The goal was never to decode your entire life. The goal was to live it, to let some parts remain a mystery, to let questions exist without always needing answers. Because real freedom doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from realizing you don't have to. So take a breath. Feel your feet on the ground. Notice the moment you're in without trying to improve it. That version of you, the one who can just be, she's still there. She's quiet, but she's waiting for you to stop searching long enough to remember her. You weren't meant to live solely in your mind. You weren't meant to turn every moment into a theory, every silence into a signal, every emotion into a diagnosis. You were meant to feel life, to breathe it in, to be present for it. So maybe, just maybe, the most radical thing you can do today is this. Let the mystery be. Let it exist without fear. Let yourself be okay without knowing why. Because peace doesn't come when everything makes sense. It comes when you realize it doesn't have to.